Hi guys, today I'm covering the final test SP17 for a pre-calculus course MTH 2003 at Baruch College. My goal is not to show you all the tricks and tips. My goal is to do this test as fast as I can. Normally you are given 2 hours for your final, but I will do it much faster. If you would like to learn all the tricks and tips and get detailed solutions to ace your math final at Baruch College, please click the link in the video description below. Also, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and like our video. So let's do this. Problem 1. Find the slope of a line which is perpendicular to this. Okay, so the keyword here is perpendicular. 3x minus 4y plus 1 equals 0. So 3x plus 1, I'm just moving 4y to the other side, is equal to 4y. Therefore, y is equal to 3/4 x plus 1/4. Now, the slope is 3/4 of this line, but we're looking for the perpendicular one, so it's going to be the negative reciprocal, so just negative 4/3, it's A. Next. For the function fx11x squared, okay, so for this guy right here, let's just start plugging stuff in. So let me just do f of x plus h first. That's going to be equal to 11x plus h squared. It's equal to 11x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. There's a trick about that. 11x squared plus 22xh plus 11h squared. Now f of x is the same, it's just 11x squared and h is h. So let's just start plugging stuff in, just pretty much composing this fraction. So it's 11x squared plus 22xh plus 11h squared minus 11x squared all over h. Boom, boom. And here I can factor out 22x plus 11h over h, cancel the h's, and my answer is 22x plus 11h, which is C. Next. Find the vertex. Very simple. Minus b over 2a. That's our x coordinate. Again, my goal is to do this as fast as I can. So that's equal to negative 10 over 2. That's just positive 5. So it's either b or e. And then I just have to plug that stuff back into the function. So f of 5 equals 5 squared minus 10 times 5 plus 13. That's equal to 25 minus 50 plus 13. So negative 12. So it's e. So far, so good. C, find the radius. So we have to complete the square twice. It's a little bit annoying for the circle questions, but we have to do what we have to do. So here, I'm just leaving blanks and spaces equals 0. So here, this is 14 over 7. 14 over 2, 7 squared, so that's 49. Here, this is negative 2 over 2, which is negative 1 squared, which is 1. So I have to add 49 and 1 to both sides. That's just x plus 7 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 50. Therefore, the radius is this. This is equal to r squared, so therefore the radius is just the square root of 50, which is C. Next, determine the horizontal asymptote. Horizontal asymptote. Top is less than the bottom, so y is equal to 0. You don't have to solve anything. That's yet another trick. Find the demand equation. So P is equal to 100 minus 2x, where x is the number of items demanded. How many items should be sold to maximize revenue? Revenue R equals lowercase px, which is equal to 100 minus 2x times x equals 100x minus 2x squared. And then we have to take the first derivative, which is 100 minus 4x, and set that to 0. And 100 is equal to 4x, and x equals 25, which is D. Next. Find the point at which this function right here has a horizontal tangent line. Horizontal tangent line means, and you guys already know probably for pre-calculus, if you do not know what to do, take the first derivative. So f prime of x is equal to negative 8x plus 32, and then you're setting it to 0, and therefore x equals 4. So therefore the answer is B, or the answer is A, because they both have x for the 4. And lots of you will just select B, but that's not the right answer actually. So what do we need to do? We need to plug the x equal 4 back into the original function. So f of 4 equals minus 4 times 4 squared plus 32 times 4 minus 10. That's equal to negative 4 times 16 plus 128 minus 10. This guy is negative 64 plus 128 minus 10. It's clearly the 54, right? It's clearly not 0, so it's A, 7A. Next, calculate f prime of 2. In order for us to calculate f prime of 2, first of all, let's do the f prime of x. Now, for the f prime of x, here, we could use the quotient rule. So we got x plus 1, we got x, the prime of x plus 1 is 1, the prime of x is 1, and boom, boom. So again, there's a trick for that, how to use this box for the quotient rule. So it's going to be x minus x plus 1 all over x squared. If I distribute that, it's going to be x minus 1 over x squared. X is getting cancelled, minus 1 over x squared. That is our first derivative. Now f prime of 2 equals negative 1 over 2 squared, which is equal to negative 1/4, which is D, 8D. Next, find the equation of the tangent line at x equal 1. Great. So first of all, there are a couple of steps. F prime of x, I'm just taking the first derivative, 3x squared minus 1. I then do the slope. F prime of 1 equals 3 times 1 squared minus 1, which is just 2. So now I got the slope of the line. Then I have to plug that into the original. F of 1 equals 1 cubed minus 1 equals 0. Great. And the final step, D, is y minus 0 equals 2 times x minus 1. Again, I'm skipping lots of steps. My goal is just to do this as fast as I can. The majority of tricks could be explained in more detail in further videos. So boom, this is 2x minus 2e. Next, which of the following statements could be true about the function f of x graphed below? So this is f of x. Now, what do we know about the first derivative? Derivative is the same thing as slope. It's the slope. So when it comes down to option A, f prime of 0 equals 0. At f prime of pretty much like at 0, when x equals 0, the slope is like that, right, of the tangent line. So this slope is clearly negative. So A is not correct. B, f prime of negative 1 is less than 0. Is that true? So negative 1 is somewhere here. The slope is going to be also negative. So it's actually potentially true. C, f prime of negative 1 is greater than 0. Clearly not correct, because the slope is negative. D, f prime of 1 is greater than 0. So 1 is right here. The slope of that line is also negative, so boom. And E. So it's either B or E, but clearly B is correct, so the answer is B. Next, evaluate the limit. So this is what you should do. Technically, you should plug stuff in, but I'll just go ahead and start simplifying immediately, because once you plug it in, you'll probably get 0 over 0. We should have to simplify it anyways, so let me just do it right away. X squared plus 4x minus 21, that's equal to x minus 3 times x plus 7. I can cancel x minus 3. I get limit x approaches 3 of 1 over x plus 7. Plug in 3, that's equal to 1 over 10, which is B. Next, for each value of C, would the function below be continuous? Okay, so here we got the breaking point of 5. So I'm just plugging 5 for x. So it's going to be 5 squared minus C, and that has to be equal to C times 5 plus 6. So it has to be equal to 25 minus C. It has to be equal to 5C plus 6. I'm moving 6 to the other side, so it's 19 minus C equals 5C. I'm moving negative C to the other side, so it's 19 is equal to 6C. C is equal to 19 over 6. Very, very easy if you know the tricks. Evaluate the limit. All right, so here, if I plug in x equal 1 immediately, what I gotta get? I gotta get 1 over 1 minus 1, which is 1 over 0, so it's undefined. But that's not the right answer, because x's approaches 1 from the negative side. So what I would do in this situation is I would assume that on top you still have 1, because we don't care, but on the bottom it's 1 minus, and it's approaching 1 from the negative side, so it's like 0.99999 and so on, right? So therefore it's going to be 1 over 0.00001. Clearly something super, super big, super large, so it's positive infinity, 13e. Next. Suppose the differentiable function fx satisfies f of 2 is equal to 3, f prime of 2 is equal to 5. Calculate the derivative of x times f of x. This problem itself is phrased in a super weird way, but whatever. So here we got x, we got f of x. The derivative of x is 1, the derivative of f of x is f prime of x, and we do in the box. Again, that's one of the tricks. So if you take the derivative of this product thing, we're going to get x times f prime of x plus f of x. Now, we need to figure this out at point 2. Therefore, for each x in here, I'm just plugging in 2. So it's 2 times f prime of 2 plus f of 2. Now, f prime of 2 is equal to 5, so it's 2 times 5. F of 2 is equal to 3, so it's 2 times 5 plus 3, which is just 13. The answer is D. Moving on. Calculate the derivative. The first thing that you have to know is rewrite this guy. Rewrite it. Then f prime of x equals 1/2 x squared plus 1 to the power of negative 1/2. And what people forget is the chain rule. The derivative of the inside. 1/2 times 1 over square root of x squared plus 1. I'm just simplifying immediately. 2x over 1. We can cancel the 2. We got x over the square root of x squared plus 1, which is d. All right, we're almost done with half the test. For the given function, cost function c of x, find the average cost at production of x equal 100. So now cx bar is just equal to 324 plus 50x plus x squared over x. Here's a great trick. 324 over x plus 50 plus x. And just plug in 100 immediately, c of 100. Otherwise, you're going to be dealing with crazy numbers. So 324 over 100 plus 50 plus 100. So that's equal to 150 plus 3.24. 153, boom, d, right here. Next, calculate dy dx at the 0.61. Take the prime of both sides immediately, of both. So here, the problem is this product rule, x, y cubed. So we already have to use the square method. So it's x, y cubed. The derivative of x is 1. The derivative of y cubed is what? 3y squared times dy dx. Do not forget that dy dx is very precious. So if I take the derivative of the xy cubed, we get 3xy squared dy dx plus y cubed. The derivative of y is just dy dx. And this guy's equal to 0. Now, instead of me trying to simplify things out, I'll just plug in 6,1 immediately. So 3 times 3 times 6 times 1 squared dy dx plus 1 cubed plus dy dx equals 0. So this is 18 dy dx plus 1 plus dy dx equals 0. I'm moving the 1 to the other side, so it's negative 1, and here I'm getting 19 dy dx's, which gives me dy dx equal negative 1 over 19. Again, I'm trying to do this as fast as I can. 17b. Now 18, determine dy dt. So once we know it's dy dt, it's immediately related rates. So if I take the derivative of this guy, I'm gonna get dy dt equals 18x squared dx dt, and just plug it in. This one is super simple. Just know what to do, guys. It's super simple. 18 times 1 squared times dx dt, which is negative 4, and that's equal to negative 72e. Done with half the test. Next. All right, so those are actually super simple. Super simple. Continuous means if you draw with a pencil, do you have to put it up the paper or not? And in this case, you do. At which point? At x equal 1, d. Next. Now, differentiable is a little bit different. So first of all, it's x equal 1, but it's also this sharp angle at 2. So it's both negative 2. So it's both x equal negative 2 and x equal 1, which is c. Calculate the reduced RREF form, the row echelon form. All right, cool. So let me write this out first. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. That's our matrix. So we have to remove this 1. So R2 equals R2 minus R1. So it's going to be equal to 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0. And we're almost done. We now have to remove this 1 on top. So R1 equals R1 minus R2. And that the second row stays the same, 0, 1, 0. The top row turns into 1, 0, 1. And the answer is, where is that? It is B. Beautiful. Let A be this and B be that, and A squared minus B. All right, so we are here for some multiplication. Minus 1, 2. So I'll do the A squared first. 5, 3 minus 1 times 2. The method called row by column. So here it's 2 by 2. Here it's 2 by 2. So the insides matches. Therefore, the sides are going to be 2 by 2, which is the outer. So that's our final matrix. 5 times 5 is 25. Minus 3, 22. Is it correct? Potentially. Next one. 5 times negative 1. We'll do this row. So it's negative 5. Minus 2. That's negative 7. Then we'll do the second column, the second row of the first one. 3 times 5, 15. 2 times 3 is 6. So 15 plus 6, 21. And then we got 3 times negative 1 and 2 times 2. So that's positive 1. And then minus B. So we have to subtract 2, 2, 0, 1. So we get 20 minus 7, 19, 0. And the answer is C. Very good. Moving on. Which of the following statements can be true when solving a system of linear equations? If you skip this question at the final, nothing's going to happen to you, to be honest. Like, this is a super weird question, but we have to respond to this. So we got 3 equations for variables. Here's how it goes. If it's more variables than equations, it's definitely 3 is a possibility for the infinite solutions, but we can always have no solutions. Always have no solutions. So do not forget to put 1 and 3. I mean, simple example is, for example, you can have 3 equations. The first one is y is equal to x, then z is equal to whatever, 5, and then the final one is going to be 5 is equal to 20. No solution. No solution. Although, you know, well, z is equal to d whatever, and 5 is equal to 20, right? So we can have that, which is no solution. So here the answer is D, 23D. Next, write the domain. Domain, so this guy has to be greater than 0 and not equal 0. Strictly greater than 0. It's B, because this guy is in the bottom, in denominator. And last question of the non-calculated section, f of g of -3. In order for us to find this, first of all, let's do f of g of x. F of g of x is pretty much for each, you know, pretty much instead of x we plug in x plus 2, so it's x plus 2 cubed. And then we have to find f of g of -3. So f of g of -3, and instead of x I'm just plugging -3, so -3 plus 2 to the power of 3, that's going to be equal to -1 to the 3rd power, which is just -1a. Now we're done fully with the non-calculated section. Let's move on. Alright, so the next section, here we have a calculator, which makes things much easier. But here's the thing. Despite the fact that you do have a calculator, keep in mind that you still need to write stuff out. Because if you do write stuff out, you're going to make yourself a huge favor. Alright, so here we got costs, something costs $14,000, which is our P. And the production is X, and this is P, and this is X. So what I know immediately is P1 is equal to 1400, and X1 is equal to 1500. And then P2 is equal to 1700, and X2 is equal to 1900. And I need to figure out what to do with this line. So the first things first is, I know it's a calculated question, but I'll still do it the old school way. So I'll do the slope, which is P1 minus P2 minus P1 over X2 minus X1, which is equal 1700 minus 1400 over 1900 minus 1500. So on top is 300, on the bottom is 400. So this is just 3/4. This is my slope. Now, in order for me to find the line, the actual equation of the line, y minus, let's assume I'll just select that point, minus 1400 equals 3/4, which is our slope, times x minus 1500. Now, I will bring the 1400 to the other side, so y is equal to 3/4 x minus 1500 plus 1400. And now the calculator time. So I just saved myself a lot of headache. So here I just type in 3/4 multiplied by x minus 1500 plus 1400. Never plug stuff in directly, always use a vertical bar if you can. X is equal to 2000. And the answer is 1775, which is E. Next. The profit, what is the minimum number of items must be produced to break even? In order to break even, here we just have to, no writing is necessary. Set that to 0. Break even means your profit is 1365x minus 830 equals 0 comma x. Boom. And there are a couple of solutions. X is equal to 13, x is equal to 26. Clearly it is A. Now, if 26 was one of the options, you would still go for 13, because we're looking for the minimum number of items to be produced. Next. Okay, so you provide a supply curve, whatever, find the price at market equilibrium. So here we need to match them together. What I would do is I would do a matrix, RREF. So this is what I would write out on a piece of paper. And then I would enter this into a calculator with RREF. So let's go. Let's go, boys and girls. So here we got RREF. Oops. Okay. So, and here I got 506. comma 90, comma 2590, 530, comma negative 10, comma 1070. Boom. Enter. So my P is going to be equal to 2.31781. For whatever reason, is it matching or not matching? Right? Just need to make sure that it's matching kind of perfectly. Maybe I messed something up. So 506, 90, 2590. See, so I made a mistake. So instead of here, it's supposed to be 0. And then it's this and that. So now it's a perfect answer B. Although I messed up, I kind of saw that it's B because it's like much closer than anything else. Anyways, here, use the linear regression. Okay, so linear regression means that we have to go to this crazy apps, the app store of TI-89, which is not very pretty, and we have to do new. And here, let's assume which variables do I have left. Let me just try to do D3, for example. All right. Okay, it's already in use. So let me try D4. Enter. Boom. Okay, so I just have to enter stuff out. So 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. And here on this side I have 40, 400, 480,000, 670,000, 710,000, and 750. All right, and now I have to do this whole linear regression. Linear regression, and here type in C1, and here type in C2. Boom, boom. All right, so I need to now write it out. So y is equal to ax plus b, and a is equal to 85, b is equal to that thing. So y is equal to 85x plus 355,000. And then I'm plugging x equal 10. So that's all I have to type in the calculator. Very simple stuff. All right, so we got 85x plus 355,000. X equals 10,000. Boom. Great. I can't see the answer. Okay, now it is A. So this problem took some time. Particle is moving. Okay, what is the instantaneous rate of change? If you do not know what to do, take the first derivative. I'll show you a trick, although we're not supposed to, but I'll show you a quick trick here, which will help me do this problem much faster. So I'm just doing two things at once, and I clearly forgot derivative of this. This has to be comma t, and then, well, actually, let me just do it from scratch. So just differentiate. Here I have to do an extra bracket, t squared minus 1 to the power of 4, comma t, boom, vertical bar, t equals 0.5. And we got C as our answer. Great. Moving on. Calculate. All right, so here, what do we do? So here we just type in the matrix and, oops, yes. So 1, 3, semicolon 1, 2, and to the power of -1. Very straightforward problem, to be honest. So -2, 3, 1, -1, that's A. 31A. 32C, here type in RREF. I always type it in myself. It's the best. It's much simpler that way. So open bracket, this, and let's go 1, 4, -3, 7, semicolon 2, 0, 1, 4, semicolon 3, -1, 1, 3, and then boom, and let's go. And we got some fractions: 15 over 11, 26 over 11, 14 over 11. C. Good. Okay, if C of x is the cost function to produce x items, find the cost when the marginal cost is 4. For that, I have first of all have to differentiate 3x to the 4th minus 5x cubed plus 3x plus 4 comma x. And then I have to solve it when this guy, which is the marginal cost, is equal to 4 comma x. Okay, so let it wait, it's a little bit busy. And once I find that, now I can plug it in. So 3x to the 4th minus 5x to the 3rd plus 3x plus 4, vertical bar, and then I just bring this over. Enter. 548D. Got 2 more problems left and be good. Okay, the table below gives values. Blah, blah, blah. What is the approximate value of f prime of 4? So f prime of 4 is right here. So what I would do is I would just take these and these. Right? So my equation is 131,598 minus 131,616 over 4.001 minus 3.999. And I just have to type it in without errors. So let me try. 1.31398 minus 1.31616 divided by this. Alright, what is my answer? Negative, okay, negative 1.09. Okay, where did I make a mistake? Maybe there's a mistake somewhere. Give me a second. 1.313. 1.31. See, it's 598 and 616. So it happens. So since we did the mistake, let's repeat. Let's rewrite. 1.31598 minus 1.31616 all divided by 4.001 minus 3.999. What about now? Boom! We got it. We got it. E. Last but not least, x to the 4th minus 6x squared. Probably the simplest problem on the test. X to the 4th minus 6x squared. Enter. Graph. Boom. It's A. It's very, very evident. So again, I did not explain lots of those tricks, but the goal was not to do this. The goal was just to show you how this problem should be done if you really know your stuff. Thank you very much for watching. My goal was to not show you all the tricks and tips. My goal was just to do this test as fast as I can. If you would like to learn all the tricks and tips and get detailed solutions to ACA Math Final, please click the link in the video description below. Also, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and like our video. Thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye.